Alrighty. Let's start with that big breath in and reach it up and leaning over and over. I keep thinking I'll get tired of this warm up, but it just feels so good to start moving from the top of your body and work your way down. At least to me it does. Make that movement as big as you can. We have to get ready for Thanksgiving, the giant platters. So think about a bigger platter, bigger range of motion. We're not just doing little circles. Get that upper part of your back and your rib cage moving. And then let's reach and make it a little bit more dynamic. And up, up, up. And reach across with the rotation. Let's do two more. And come back to center. Let's make those big elbow circles. Thinking big thoughts, big dreams, big hopes. 6, 7, 8, 2 more. And then we'll focus on the small. So let's make our fists, punch them out to the sides, pull our shoulder blades back. Make sure you're not hunching, pull the shoulders down, tiny little circles. 20 to 30 each direction. There's a range. It's a lot of little circles. I don't count when I'm talking during these. Flip, and back we go. If you want to count, you can ignore me. There you go. Let's roll the arm and the shoulders. Might be feeling a little tired from holding your arms up. You can let your arms come down. Just keep moving, get that stretch going. Make it a little bit bigger. From small range to big range. 7. And one more. Okay, shimmy the shoulders. Just check in side to side. I know they both work because I saw them working. But see what it feels like, any differences right to left. Cool. Okay, let's bring our hands down to the hips. We'll go out side to side. And let's do some hula hoops, some nice big circles. Find that big range of motion. And reverse direction. So try to find a stretch with every part of this movement. Let's do one more. And we'll go into our figure eights. That always gets my knees and ankles popping, not my hips. And reverse direction. Hands down on the knees. Circle it out. 3, 4, 5. And reverse. 5, and let's hold it here. So right now your back should be neutral. We're in a short stop position. Let's tuck the tailbone under, roll up through the back. At the very end, tuck your chin into your chest, get a nice stretch all through your spine. And then let's release. So the chin comes up, tailbone comes up, back has a little bit more movement. It doesn't have to arch. It should feel like it's getting a little bit longer. So let's tuck chin and tailbone, round up to the ceiling, and then lengthen. A nice stretch in the hamstrings. And roll it up. Let's take one foot on the floor. Go back to our survey of the body. Circling out the ankles. And switch sides. Okay, let's do our toe wiggles, our ankle wiggles. So it's straight leg, point your toes down. Let's do about 12 to 16 wiggles. Make sure your whole leg is staying still. It's just your lower leg and foot moving. And then we're gonna roll that hip, roll the leg from the hip and lift that inside ankle and heel up to the ceiling. Waking up the inner thigh. We're gonna work it now, and then we'll stretch it in just a little bit. Okay, let's switch sides. So shift your weight, find your balance or hold on to something. Straight leg out. Wiggle that ankle. And then turn from the hip and lift up with your inner thigh. Good. And let's take your heels together. Do some releves, keep warming up that lower leg. Let's do 2 more. Good. Shake it out, and let's bring our knees up. Pull them up. It's okay to let your back round as you're doing this. Do a few more. And we'll go into butt kicks. So you can reach and pull. You can keep your hands on your hips. You can do whatever feels right. Some people do bicep curls. It's your warm up. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's keep our legs wide. Drop down into our short stop position again, but our feet are wider. Let's take one shoulder down and the other shoulder down. Last set. And let's sink down into a squat. And just shift from side to side. So chest up, eyes up. Even if you're up here or up here, wherever your squat takes you. See if you can come down as low, what's low for you, and not flop over. Okay, and let's do 3 bottoms up and we'll get into the workout. So hands on the floor, hips down, straighten the legs, lift those hips up and lower down. This is 2 and 1 more. So from here, we'll take one arm up to the ceiling and down, and the other arm up and down. Nice rotations. Last set, right and left. Bring your hands onto your knees and roll it up. So we're going to do bands, weights, and body weight today. Let's grab your ankle bands first. So blue or black, or if you are new, green. See what it feels like. If you did this last week, remember what it felt like, adjust your colors accordingly. If you don't have the same color scheme we have, use your own judgment with what you got. We're going to come over to one side of the room and we'll just go right into our workout. So triple flexion, ankles bent, knees bent, hips bent. We're going to hold this. Try not to stand up as you're doing it. And we're going to go for 10 in each direction. Little side steps, leading with the hips. 9. And then 10 back. I can look in the quads too. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to go 8 in each direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 8 back. 3. You can put your hands on your hips, see if you can feel those muscles working. Then we're going to do 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. We're almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2 in each direction. I'm with you, I'm feeling this too. And 1 each way, 1 and 1. Okay. Let's bring the band over the tops of your feet. Hold on for balance. And let's lift for 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll switch sides for 10, 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Let's put the band to the side or keep it on. You can waddle around or hop around and get a lighter band. And we're going to go right into upper body. So rolling your shoulders back and down. We're going to pull apart for 10, 9, 8, keeping the shoulders pinched together. Keeping your arms straight. And then little pulses. And as we pulse, we're going to start lifting our arms up. As high as you can lift, keeping your arms straight. Use the mirror. Use your screen to give you some feedback on what your arms are doing. Let me do that one more time. And all the way down. Bicep curls for 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. Rows. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the killer, because you're going to want to go back to legs after this. Pull your hands out as wide as your shoulders. Lift up to straight arms. Pull down behind your neck. Be careful of your ponytails. And lift up if you have one, that is. Pull down, squeeze those elbows in. Pull back, elbows in. We got one more after this. If I said a number before, just ignore it. My coffee has kicked in before my breakfast has. So I am feeling a little wired. Hopefully not making you crazy. Okay, I promised you last week, we only did one set of these, that in the future we were going to do 2 sets. So we're just going to go back and forth through 2 sets, lower body and then upper body. So back to counting, triple flexion, grab your bands. I don't mind waiting. Get a little bit more rest. You can wiggle it out, shake it out. And let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can't do more than 10 steps. That's as big as my room is. 10. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's go for 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure you're leading with the hip. 4, 3, 2, 1. Almost done. 4, 2, and 4 back. 2, 2, and 1, and 1, and stop. And notice if you're like this, or if you're still down in your squat. I started lifting up a little bit. It's normal when you get tired. So we can toss that band away, grab your easy band, your easy S band, and we'll do one more quick set of upper body. Don't worry about not doing the foot raises. I think we are doing plenty right now. So let's go back to our arms. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, seeing if you can feel your back muscles engaging as you pull the band apart. 9, 10, and then little pulses. And we'll take them up. And down. And up. And back down. Quick set of biceps, because this is going to set us up for our next circuit. Last one, hold it here and reach and pull. Make sure you're working the shoulder blades, reaching forward, pulling back into the spine. Okay, 2 more. And then from here, keeping your hands wide, let your shoulder blades come out and down. Let them rotate a little bit to the front and to the back. 1 more, front and back. Let's put the bands away for now. Maybe we'll visit them later. Grab a drink. Give your arms a stretch, give your legs a stretch. Give your shoulders a stretch. Good. So we're back to basics this month, but boy, those basics, there's still a lot of work. Here we go. So our B series, we have 3 exercises. We're going to be doing push-ups. We're going to do 1-arm rows, and we're going to do windmills. And I think my camera is set, so I don't need to keep moving it. Your push-ups can be from your knees. They can be better push-ups. They can be strict push-ups. We're not doing power push-up yet, but heads up, that's where we're going towards the end of the month. Let's get back into our push-ups. Then we'll get up. We'll do our 1-arm row. I'm challenging myself with heavier weights. This is one area where if you've got the option to use heavier weights, you might want to try it. Join me. And then we'll do windmills and take a little break. So setting up, we did 8 push-ups last week. Let's go for that again, because I don't know how many people were joining us. So setting up in your plank. If you need to do it from your knees, start in a plank and drop your knees. And then lower, 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 lower. And either push yourself up or rock back into child's pose and then reset. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And when you're all done, rock back into child's pose. Take about another 10 seconds here. Get your back stretch and rest, because we're going to work it again. Give yourself that rest, and then seek out your big weight. Pull this out into view so we can do it from both sides. Last week I did 20 pounds. This week I'm trying 25. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to start with my left side, non-dominant, and then match with my right. So if you notice a big difference between one side, your dominant side being much stronger, non-dominant being not quite so strong, always start non-dominant and cater to your non-dominant side. There's no point in your dominant side getting ever stronger if if your non-dominant side can't keep up. So we're gonna go for anywhere from 12 to 15. Listen to your body. And we'll do both sides. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then you don't need to rest, just go to the other side, grab your weight, nice athletic stance, pull your shoulder into the socket, pull your shoulders away from your ears, and we'll go side 2. 11 and 12. Okay. Put the weight down someplace safe. I'm gonna move my bench out of the way. Just take a moment, just swing your arms. Maybe hug yourself. Let your back round, hollow out your belly. Stretch your back muscles. Roll your shoulders. Give yourself a little break before we go into windmills. And we'll grab our weight. Again, I'm going to start non-dominant today. Again, have to keep saying that out loud so I remember, and I can keep remembering to remind you. So weights on my left side. I'm turning my feet to the right, pressing up. Take your feet to a comfortable width. There's no rule to this. This time you want to imagine you are trapped between 2 walls. So you can't lean forward. Your arm is like a post. Your arm is firmly engaged in your shoulder socket. We're only doing 6 on each side. 4. Bring the weight down safely. Switch hands, switch the angle of your feet. Press it up and pop that hip out. Your glutes and your obliques are doing the work for this. Your back muscles and your arm muscles are stabilizing. But it's your hips that are doing the work moving. 4. 5. So how do you know, you're going to take a little break before we go through that again. How do you know if you're using enough weight for this? One is you want to be able to create that post, hugging your arm down into your shoulder and feel stable so that when you bend over, your arm isn't doing this kind of thing, which endangers all the muscles that support your shoulder. You want to be able to have that stable. So if you can do this and it feels too easy and it's a piece of cake to keep your arm up there, try going up a little bit higher. Don't go up too high too fast. Challenge the stability, but don't put your arm in a vulnerable position. So let's shake it out. And we'll come back down to the floor. And we've got 8 push-ups coming at you. Knees, better push-ups, kneeling push-ups, full push-ups, or just lowering. Your choice. This is your workout. 3, and 1. And rock back into child's pose when you're done. So there's also no rule that says if you start doing push-ups on your toes, you can't go to your knees halfway through. or if you are trying to do full push-ups or kneeling push-ups up and down, that you can't take those last few if you're getting tired and turn them into better push-ups. It all adds up into getting you stronger. So do what works for you. Okay, we are back to rowing. So again, I'm starting non-dominant on this side. Athletic stance, back pretty flat. And we'll go for 12 to 15, your choice, your range, depending on your weight, how you're feeling today. What you find when you're increasing the weights is the first set feels great. The second set feels harder. The third set, I may or may not be able to do all my reps, and that's okay. That's how I know I've got the right weight and how to build it. Okay, so here we go. Side 2. And 12. Put that down, out of the way, move my bench out of the way. Swing your arms as a twist. And grab a drink of water. I think next week I'll show you the progressions, what it looks like to struggle with the windmills. I've got 12 pounds now. I'm not quite ready to go to 15 for my shoulders. But next week, we'll see what it feels like. So, oops, we're starting non-dominant. I'm turning it around. Here we go, 6 on each side. Two, and 1. Bring it down safely. Swing your feet around. Rack the weight, post it up. Pull that shoulder away from your ears. Make sure you're in a nice stable position. And lower. So why is this called the windmill? It beats me. The closest thing I can guess is that your arms are supposed to stay 180 degrees apart. So one arm is going straight down, the other arm stays straight up. Last one, I think. But I don't really know. That's what it's called. Okay, let's put that weight down. And let's do some standing cat-cows, a little more dynamic than the slow ones we did in the warm-up. And roll it up. Swing your arms out. One more grueling set. The option I haven't talked about for push-ups yet are incline push-ups. Those are always an option. The desk, the counter, coffee table, as long as it's sturdy. Last week was the first time I did push-ups since whatever, the last time we did them in July. And I really felt them. So done 2 sets on the floor. I've done some easier, some harder. I think I will pull my friend the bench out again. And just wiggling, shaking out my back. This is very upper body intensive. Let's set up in a plank. Squeeze your booty, make your belly as small as you can. Elbows are gonna go out about 45 degrees, whatever position you're in. And let's go for 8 more. 6. And then keep holding on to whatever you're holding on. If you're doing an incline, and stretch back. Let your back stretch and relax, or come into child's pose if you're on the floor. And work your way up. I'm gonna grab another drink. It's warming up in my little room. Okay, last set. We'll see. On my non-dominant side, it was hard to get to 12. So let's see if I can do it. For the third set, if I feel like I can't complete a rep or keep good form, that's how you know you need to stop. Okay, so getting set. Let's hit it. I'm gonna watch you so I can ignore my own pain. 3, 4. And when you finish one side, let's go right into side 2. And looks good. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Big weight away. And slowly away again. So what's my strategy? I finished all my sets on both sides. Right number of reps. And try to do that one more time this week. And then next week, I'm going to go up to the next increment. And we'll see where my failing point is. I don't know where it is. It's been a long time since I've figured that out. So you're kind of exploring along with me. Let's go. 12 pounds up. And press, pull that shoulder down. Arms are locked for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the weight down, switch sides. Don't forget to turn your feet so they're facing the other way. Weight up and up. For 6. You know, it's okay if your knees bend. It's not the end of the world. 2, 1. I think that's the end. So if your legs are straight and your arms are straight, it's a windmill. If you do it and you're bending your knees, it's called, oh my God, why am I forgetting what it's called? It's a bent press. Anyway, it's all legit. It all works, shoulder stability and core and hip strength. So grab some water, take a little break, and then we'll come down to the floor. And we have our 3 exercises down there. So we'll stay on the floor for the rest of the class. Right now, my body is feeling, and you might need to stretch something different. Feeling like I need to check in with my hips. Wiggle them out, circle them out. Everything is still attached and moving. Let's come down on the floor, gradually work our way down. And we'll do some restorative hip circles. Give your back a little stretch, a little break. Our first exercise is actually a back exercise. And I got a question last week, and I want to clarify this week. And when we're doing back extensions, I'm not just using my neck. The reason why when I do better back extensions, we keep your hands glued to your forehead is to create enough tension between your head and your hands that your neck actually gets support. So we're not working the neck. We want it to stay as neutral as we can. So we anchor the body by pressing the legs into the floor. Toes can be like this or like this. And when your head is on your hands and they stay connected, the lift is all from the upper back. It's not a big movement unless you're extremely flexible in that direction. And since most of us spend all of our time, or most of our time, driving on computers, on our devices, forward and curled forward, it's harder and harder for us to move through that upper back. So we're going to practice that now. We're going to go for 10 lifts, keeping your head glued to your hands and not lifting your neck like this, because you're going to hate me and think I'm trying to torture you, which I'm not. So let's go for 10, 9, keep those legs anchored down, 8, 7, exhale up, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It's not a very big lift. But from here, because we're going into extension, sit back in child's pose and let your back go into flexion. Having your back in flexion is not a problem. Having postures where you stay in flexion is in themselves not a problem. Holding those postures is where we get stiff, and that is a problem. So we're going to come into our side plank. So we can do that from our knees with one leg extended, both legs stacked, or both legs staggered. You can also do it from something on an incline. Sofa, if it's not too squishy, coffee table, a counter. As long as your elbow and your shoulder stay in line, you're good. So what we're going to do are 10 hip dips once we're in this position. So as you come up, I start with my knees bent. I straighten my body out. My hand is down here, and I pull my shoulder back. So now I'm perpendicular to the floor, and we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, just dropping your hip toward the floor and lifting it up, or just holding that side plank. That's where you're at. 2, and 1. We were talking about before class why this is so much harder than doing a front plank. And the answer is because you only have 2 points of support for your body in this position. Your elbow and your foot, maybe 2 feet. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So that makes it instantly more challenging than trying to hold a front plank where you've got both feet and both hands on the floor. Try holding a front plank with one arm and one leg off the floor, opposites preferably, significantly harder. So from here, we're going to roll down, give your back a little hug, a rest, a massage, hug your knees. And we're going to do our leg lifts. So taking your legs up to the ceiling, you're going to imagine you're pulling a towel underneath your hips. So a little lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in, and we'll go through these one more time without so much blabber. So another thing that came up last week is people told me that they were really sore across their lower abs after this workout. And that is absolutely, I guarantee you, for doing these. It activates the whole muscle, which I think is remarkable, from your pubic bone up to where it connects below your diaphragm. It works that whole muscle, but for some reason, you just feel it in that lower part. So we're going to roll over. I'm not going to turn around. And we're going to go into our back extensions. So let's anchor the lower body, press your feet into the floor, head to hands, and let's lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, keep your butt squeezed, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rock back into child's pose and let your back round. Instead of arching, let it flex. So there's no magic to the number 10 with those. If you feel like your back is starting, your low back is starting to engage, check that you're using your glutes to hold you stable. And if you still can't hold it, build. If you can get 4 reps in and feel good, I'm proud of you. If you can get 10 reps in, I'm proud of you. Doesn't matter. So let's pop up into our side plank. Whoop. And let's go for some dips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, you all know, an hour is an arbitrary unit of time for a workout. 10 is an arbitrary number for a set of repetitions. You do you. If you're getting stronger, if you're building from the beginning, build up to this. If you're already here, challenge yourself. And hold it up for 10, 9. If you can't do the dips, just try to hold the side plank. 3, 2, and 1. And bring it down. Come on to our back. Hug our knees in. One more little bit of work. Just make circles with your knees. And we'll go in both directions. Okay, just take our legs straight up. 10 little lifts. It's like you're trying to pull your pubic bone towards your ribs. 4, 6, 7, 8. Pressing your feet up to the ceiling. When you're all done, hug your knees in. Okay, let's loosen up the hips and the lower back. Take our feet nice and wide and go for windshield wipers. Nice and slow. Don't speed through these. Make sure you're getting the rotation, internal and external, as your hips go side to side, or your knees go side to side rather. Last one. And then let's cross your left leg over your right knee. Reach behind your right leg and hug both legs in. See if you can relax your back. Flatten it down on the floor. And then maybe take your left arm out to the side, twist a tiny bit to your right, and see if that goes a little bit deeper into those hip muscles. Mine didn't forget that we worked them at the very beginning. And then let's put your right foot down, keep your legs crossed, twist to your left. So the side where your AT band comes in, side of your hip gets stretched. And then we're going to come up to center, slide your ankle onto the knee, reach behind your right leg. Your left knee is going out to the side. It might be pulled in towards you, but see if you can push it away energetically or with your elbow. And open up through your hips. My low back is popping as I do this. It's interesting. And then let's switch feet, switch sides. So we're going to cross right knee over left, reach behind your left leg, let your right hip relax and stretch. Take your right arm out to the side and twist a little bit to your left. Goes a little bit deeper into your right hip muscles. Come back to center, put your foot down and twist to the right. So this time we're getting the IT band in the front of your hip a little bit on your left side. And then we'll come up to center, slide your ankle onto that knee, and we'll do a figure four stretch or a piriformis stretch. The stretch goes by a lot of names. Keep your right knee out to the side, or use your elbow to push it away from you. You can even pull with one hand and push with the other hand. You can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. So I'm pulling with my left arm, I'm going to push on my right thigh and get a stretch that way too. Good. Let's come down into fetal position. We're going to open like a book. Try to keep your knees stacked. Oh, and stretch across your back and your chest. And we're going to hang out here for a little while. And change my position so I can see the clock. Maybe 30 seconds or so. Let's hang out here. Just enjoy the stretch. Get pops up and down your back. Some people like having their legs straight. Doesn't matter as long as we try to stay stacked and then twisted and open through the upper body. Let's go for about 10 more seconds. Relax into this position. Let your back pop and crackle. And then slowly open up. And we'll go to the other side. From here, and twist open. So check in that your knees are in line with your hips, closer up towards your chest maybe. Just helps prevent the twist from happening in your lower back, which it's not designed to do. It keeps the twist in the upper back. So your low back stays nice and safe. And stay here another 15, 20 seconds. Enjoy that stretch. Take some deep breaths. Let's come up into a Z set. So both knees bent. 90-90, if you can manage it. We're going to plant one hand and twist across. And then go up and over. So twisting reach to a side bend. 2 more. reach, side bend, reach, and the side bend. And then the swing your legs around to the other side. Just notice how it feels to shift that position, see what your hips feel like. And we're going to reach up and over for a side bend. 2, 3. One more. Here we go. Last reach. Nice. And side bend. So let's sit in any comfortable position for you. We're going to pull one arm across. Pull that shoulder down away from your ears. Hug the arm in. Doesn't matter what your hand is doing. It can be flopping around. And then take your, if you're pulling on your right shoulder, take your left ear down or vice versa. Try to stretch through the neck. Come back to center. Hold on to your elbow. We're going to reach up, pull that hand down as far as you can, the middle of your back. So we're stretching out your triceps. For another 3, 2, 1, and then we're just going to switch. So take your hand on the opposite elbow, reach down. We'll stay here about 10 more seconds. You may or may not be feeling you need to stretch in your triceps right now. You can use this to help mobilize through the shoulders. If you have a hard time reaching and pulling back, the stretch will help. Let's bring that arm down in front and we'll do the shoulder stretch on the other side. So check that your shoulder's not up here. You want to pull it down and across. You can lean your head away from your shoulder. Kind of rock your ear down towards your armpit and back up. If it feels good, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. And then let's roll our shoulders, hold on to our knees, and we're going to lean back. Let your back go round as you come back down. So making a little bit more of a C shape. We're going to come around with the flat back. Exhale. Inhale, round. Forward, exhale. Inhale back. And one more this way. And then, of course, we have to reverse direction. Just loosen up your back. Check in with how everything is feeling. I feel the increase in weight that I did, but that's a good feeling. Feels tired, feels worked, but there's nothing owie about it yet. Good. So that's the workout for today. We'll keep progressing it over the month. You guys are getting stronger, and I will see you on Thursday.